All right, we are officially live. Hello, everybody. My name is Chris, and this is We Love Comics, and this is my live comic book auction. If you have not seen the sneak peek video I did last Sunday, you're going to be in for a surprise to the types of comics that I sell in this auction. For the first time in probably 4 years or so, I'm actually selling both raw and slabbed books. Um, want to make sure that people know that if you're watching this later on after the auction is completed, you have up to 1 week. So you have up until next Sunday until 11:59 p.m. Eastern time to contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com with any of the auctions that did not sell or did sell and somebody didn't make the deposit to be able to purchase those books at whatever the starting price was for that comic in the auction. Payment plans are available. There are discounts for check, money order, and cash. I'm going to place the auction rules right here. I'll go over them, but you could pause that if you want. You could watch this, but make sure that even if you missed this auction, whether you were busy or you forgot or you just discovered the channel, any unsold comics, you have up to a week. So up to next Sunday to contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. And if you look right in the center where PayPal is, whatever the price is that's the auction started, unless multiple people email me the same day about the book, it will be the person that makes the highest offer from the starting bid. Now, as you can see, the ways to pay, there's Cash App and Venmo, there's PayPal, and there's also check, money order, and cash. Now, if somebody sends a payment with Venmo or Cash App, I give a bonus of a free comic once the payment has been complete. If you send a check or a money order, I highly recommend the money order because a check takes 10 business days to clear. But if you pay by money order, you will get half price on the domestic shipping. You'll get the free comic, and you'll also get between a 1 and 6% discount off the total of your cost, depending on the price you paid for all the books combined. If you send me cash payments, which I've had a couple of people do, I've had people overseas do it. If you send cash, you will not only get the free comic, you will get free domestic shipping, and the discount for the total will be between 2% and 7%. Again, depending on the price of the total of the comics. Now, payment plans are available starting at $399 and up, going anywhere from a 2-month payment plan to up to 2 years. Now, late payments without advanced notice has increased from the $10 fee to $25 fee. Unfortunately, because the majority of the people that have done the payment plans just sometimes just disappear, sometimes for months. So make sure you understand that. Other thing with the payment plans, there are no interest, but if we have an agreed contract with, for example, let's say a 6-month payment plan, and you don't finish the payments within the 6-month time period, there is a $25 charge. I'm sorry, there's a $5 charge every month beyond the contract that we agreed. So please make sure you are able to fit it within the payments because, as I try and tell people, this is my source of income. This is how I pay bills. So when I am expecting a certain amount of payments each month so I can pay my obligations and they don't come, I get penalized by my credit card companies and the people that I owe to make payments for my bills. So please just make sure, I want to make sure everybody's happy, but I also have to make sure people intend to honor their initial agreements. I can't hold books for 2 or 3 years while somebody sends me 10, 20, $25 a month. So I have to make that clear up front. If that makes me a bad guy, unfortunately, as they say, it's nothing personal, it's just business. So, quick shout out to my Patreon members, including Kevin W. He is a newest member. Let's start getting going. Now, if you want to make a bid on a book, let's say, just for example, Amazing Spider-Man 300, type in all capital letters, just put ASM 300, for example, and whatever price you want to bid. We give obviously a minute or two for people to outbid. Now, the bidding will be starting at $5 increments and goes up depending on the price of the book. So we don't want to have 25-cent bids and it takes 6 hours to do one payment, one auction. So if you end up getting to a point where it's beyond what you are willing to pay, if you could be so kind as to say the word fold and type that in, it absolutely helps. Anybody that's looking to place a bid, make sure you are in live chat and not in top chat. Just look where you type in your chats. Look all the way to the top left of that screen. You'll see it'll either say live chat or top chat with an arrow to the right of it. Click on that arrow and place it on live chat. Otherwise, there'll be about a 30 to 40-second delay. And I want to make sure people, their bids are taken in the order that they are placed. So make sure you're in live chat. Um, Bid in all caps already talked about. New bidders, somebody that hasn't bidded and worked with me before. If you win an auction, you have to either pay for it in full or make a deposit before you can bid on anything else. This keeps people from just spam bidding on everything with no intention to buy. So if you're somebody that's never purchased from me before, if you win a auction, you have to make a deposit or pay for it in full before you can bid on anything else. There's a $25 late fee for the payments I already mentioned. Here's the shipping cost domestically, and that is the Continental 48 United States. I know there's 50, but I'm talking about the Continental 48 states, is $22.99 and $3.99 for every comic afterwards. Internationally, I will ship, but keep in mind the prices I'm probably charging less than what I will be charged, and I'll just pay the difference. But shipping and handling internationally is $69.99 and $7 per extra comic. I've shipped to places where it's cost me $80 to $90 to ship a comic. Unfortunately, that's something beyond my control. That's the post office. They raise prices all the time. If you deliver anything through the mail, you know this to be true. I'm not trying to pocket anything from people. Okay, so with that all out of the way, I want to welcome everybody. And again, if you're just tuning in now, if you missed the auction or miss any of these, you can let me know and I could go back if there were no bidders. Just put it in the live chat so we can talk about that. Okay, so we're going to start out with the lowest priced books, which are the raw books, and then we'll go into the graded books afterwards. Okay, so the first book we are starting with, this is Green Lantern number 49. This is the first appearance of Parallax. Now, since these are raw, I give what I think the grade might come out based on my opinion. I do not go over these with a microscope, so there might be some, 16th of an inch color break in the edge that I might not see. So keep that in mind. All sales for ungraded comics are final, but I do check them to make sure things like Marvel value stamps are in them and things like that, that no coupons are cut out. But in my opinion, this is a high grade book between a 9.4 and a 9.8. Even if I think something looks like it could be a 9.8, I will never sell it as a 9.8. Now, if you get a 9.8, if you get it graded, that's perfect. Now, this is also a newsstand variant. So we're starting with some of the more affordable comics. The payment plans start anywhere from $399 and up, but this comic, the starting bid is only $49. So if you're interested in this book, we'll give it like a minute. But this is the first appearance of Parallax. I'll try and close in so you can see there is not a color breaking crease to be found, which especially when you're talking newsstand variants, those are a lot harder to be able to find in high grade. So I'll try and scroll through this. You can see the corners are nice and sharp. The edges are nice and clean. This has white pages as well. So if you're interested in this book, I'll give it like 10 seconds because I know in these lower comics, people are not as interested. And the reason I put lower comics is sometimes people say that some of the comics I sell are out of their price range. So I'm trying to find more affordable books. But if anything, somebody might watch this a couple of days after this video's up and may be interested. So $49 going once, going twice. And if you're one of the people that's interested in this book, you can always contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. And the price would be $49 plus shipping. All right, let's get to the next book. This is Edge of Spider-Verse number 5. This is the first appearance of Penny Parker. They are going to be doing more of the Sony Spider-Verse. Don't know if she'll be in the next movie, but it seems like they've been keeping the characters, and she was one of the favorites in there. Again, this is a potential 9.8, and I'll get some close-ups. But I always say 9.4 to 9.8 with white pages. Now, just want to make sure that you see that's not scuffing. That's actually on the bag, and I'll move the bag just to show you. So there's no scuffing on there. But the bidding starts at only $49. So especially if you are the Spider-Verse fans, and I really do like all of the characters, potential chance of getting a potential 9.8, but of course I cannot guarantee that. So Edge of Spider-Verse number 5. This is a first print, by the way. Very important to know that. All right, so going once, going twice. I have a feeling like these smaller ones people might not have interest in, but that's okay. I'll at least give people the option if they're available. Two comics have sold so far before the auction because I always make sure I do a sneak peek video, and any of my paid Patreon members get a week earlier access to be able to make offers on any comic before the auction. So it does pay to subscribe and view my channel, especially when it's auction time. All right, next up, the bidding on this starts again at $49. This is Marvel Team Up number 1. I predicted this mid-grade between a 5.5 and a 6.0. Definitely got some great colors on this book. Nice little, I think this is late bronze or potentially early copper. Actually, it's bronze because you could tell by the 20-cent price tag. So the starting bidding on this book is only $49. So if you're interested in this, you could just put MTU 1 and then the bid. And it does have, I put off-white to white pages for this book. All right, so going once, going twice. And if you're interested in that book, you can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com up until next Sunday. Let's get to the next book. All right, again, bidding starts at only $49. We got X-Men 221, first appearance of Mr. Sinister. Absolutely a very underrated Copper Age key villain. Higher grade, but I don't see this one as a 9.8 potential, but still between the 9.2 and 9.6 range with white pages. Bidding on this one again starts at only $49. This to me is a very underrated key book. I'm trying to do this so I'm not having my fingers put the shadows on it. You could see nice looking high grade book. I don't want anybody to think I'm trying to cover any flaw. I'm very honest when it comes to selling. The edges, as you could see, nice and sharp. So $49 if anybody's interested in X-Men 221, first appearance of Mr. Sinister. White pages, I'm not sure if I mentioned that. Anywhere from a 9.2 to a 9.6. All right, going once, going twice. And if you're interested in that one, you can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. Trying to go through these fast because I don't see any bidders and want to make sure it's not a 5-hour video. So people can always contact me afterwards if they missed out. Or if you're just tuning in and one of the books passed that you were interested in and you just didn't bid or you changed your mind, you can let me know and I can always go back to it. I've had that happen before. No problem. All right. This one, we've got Thor 337. 337, first Beta Ray Bill. Love this cover. In my opinion, between an 8.0 and a 9.0 with white pages. Starting bidding on this book is only $69. I'm sorry, seven. You know what? Because I said that, I'm going to keep it at 69 starting. I got to cross this out because the one price I was listing was one that already sold. So we'll start it at $69. This is a newsstand variant. In my opinion, between an 8.0 and a 9.0, there are some non-color breaking creases. That's why there is such a range in what I say I think the grade would come out as. So this book would absolutely be improved by a pressing and dry cleaning, but I'm not going to sell it on what it could potentially be. I'm going to sell it based on what it is. So if it gets improved, that's great for you. But again, newsstand variants, and I'll try and close in on it so you can take a look at the edges. The colors are nice and sharp. So again, the bidding starts at only $69, and it is the newsstand variant. So if you're interested in the starting of owning this book, you can put Thor 337 and your starting bid. Key character to get. Absolutely love this cover. One of those you hang up at display on the wall. So 69 going once, going twice, and that book will still be available up to 1 week from today. You can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com if you're interested in that book. Next up, another potential 9.8, but I will sell it between a 9.4 and a 9.8 just in case. If you've been watching my channel for years, you know I graded a bunch of these, and all of them came back 9.8s. Now, that doesn't guarantee this will, but I bought them all at the same time from the same seller, and every one was 9.8. But I'm going to sell it between a 9.4 and a 9.8. This, of course, is Darth Vader number 3. Starting bidding is only $79 for this. First appearance of Dr. Aphra. And, of course, I forget the two droids' names. They're not as significant. But especially if you're a Star Wars fan, this is a definite modern key to own. First Dr. Aphra. Starting bidding is only $79. Try and close in again. That's not scuffing on the book, that's on the bag. If somebody wants me to change the bag if they buy it, I have no problem with that. But you could see edges are nice and sharp. Corners are nice and pointy. Edge again, nice and clean. So 9.4 to 9.8. I would not be shocked at all with a 9.8. Like I said, I've sent several of these in, and I bought them all from the same seller at the same time, all coming back 9.8s with white pages, by the way. All right, so $79 going once, going twice. If you're interested in that book, contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com, and you can get that book if the price is right. All right, next up, Wolverine number 8, first Mr. Fix-It. Now, this one, even though you don't see a barcode, this is a newsstand variant. The barcode is on the back of the book. If anybody wants me to take the book out to verify, just so you could see I'm not lying or trying to mislead people, by all means, I'll be happy to take it and show the back of the book. This is a 9.2 to 9.4 potential book. Again, harder to get, newsstand. Bidding starts at only $79. White pages. Definitely, I don't know if it's considered a classic cover, but definitely one that's been copied numerous times. And again, you can see edges are quite sharp, corners nice and pointy, especially along here. The edges are nice and clean. Bottom as well, and you can also see, no dog ears, no color breaking creases on the bottom corner. So this is a pretty high grade book. And again, this is the newsstand variant. So only $79. And I'll show, as you can see, no spine ticks to be found. So $79, Wolverine number 8, newsstand edition. Going once, going twice. And if you're interested in that book, peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com, you have up to 1 week to be able to get that book. Oh, all right, hold on, we got a bidder. I'll go back to that because I want to make sure that people have the opportunity. So let me put this back on. Okay, so Silver Age Surfer, good to see you. He's one of my moderators. So this book right now, if you're interested in this book, you would have to make a bid higher than 79. So the bidding is in $5 increments. So I'll give people a chance. And I always tell people, look up on eBay prices for these, and you'll see newsstands are not the easiest to get. Now, they're not, there's not 10 copies of these out there, but newsstands are always harder to get, especially when you're talking high grade. So I'll give it roughly around 30 seconds. So if you want this book, you would have to outbid Silver Age Surfer, which is also his Instagram account, by the way. So if you're ever on Instagram, check him out at Silver Age Surfer _comics. Tell him we love comics sent you. So this book will sell unless somebody makes a bid. Again, make sure you're in live chat and not in top chat. If you're in top chat, there'll be a 30-second delay and you could miss out by putting a bid. So I want to make sure people know to be in live chat so they don't miss out. So give it another 10 seconds. Again, this is the newsstand variant. It is a 9.2 to 9.4, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm not a professional grader, but you can see how clean it is with white pages. All right, so here's the last opportunity. Going once, going twice. And congratulations, you got a very good deal on this book, Silver Age Surfer. No payment plans for books under 200 and 399, so that would have to be paid in full. Don't make a payment until you're done, just in case if there's extra books that you might be interested in. So this way, I can do the combined shipping. So let me just put that sold $79. Silver Age Surfer. Circle that so this way that is no longer available if somebody contacts me about that book. All right, so congratulations. That's a great book to have. Absolutely love that cover. And again, if somebody isn't in live chat, make sure you switch that so you don't have that 30-second delay. Okay, so let's get to the next book. So congratulations, Silver Age Surfer. You don't have to make the payment right now because you've dealt with me before. So you take your time with it. Okay, next up. Make sure I got the right one. Okay. Starting at only $99. Nice upper mid-grade book, but this is first appearance of Shang-Chi in Special Marvel Edition 15. In my opinion, this is a 5.5 to 6.0 creamed off white pages. Now, for a book that has a lot of black in it, For raw books, it's 18.99, and then 2.99 per extra comic. Because I send them priority mail, and priority mail is about $19-20. But you get it faster and it's much more protected. I always send everything priority mail. So you're paying for the better service, basically. So yeah, you might have missed that, or I might not have said it, but yeah, the ungraded books, it's 18.99 and it's sent priority mail, well protected. But of course, if you get multiple books, I do the combined shipping because it'll only be 2.99 per extra comic. If you get a couple, I'll work out a better discount with the shipping. But we have Masters of Kung Fu, Special Marvel Edition, issue 15, first appearance of Shang-Chi. And again, in my opinion, a nice 5.5 to 6.0. You can see, again, especially for a book that has a lot of black in it, you're not seeing spine ticks all over the place. So the bidding starts at only $99 to get the first appearance of Shang-Chi, which will be having another movie. Now, of course, nothing's guaranteed until it comes out into the movie theater. Anything can change. But you can see the edges, especially for a Bronze Age book, nice and sharp. Again, you're not seeing dog ears or the corner flipped. So I try and keep the grades. I would rather it be where you got it graded and it got higher than I predicted than the other way around. So I try and keep it very well reserved as far as the grading of my opinions. If you watch my channel, I've been grading comics with my PGX books for over 8 years, and I'm pretty spot on probably 90% of the time. All right, so Marvel Spotlight 15, $99 going once, going twice. And if you're interested in that book, you have up to 1 week to contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com and let me know you're interested in that book. All right, so now they've made some confirmations for this next one. Again, bidding only starts at $99. This has 9.8 potential all over it. But again, I will sell it as a 9.4 to 9.8 range. But this book is beautiful. X Factor number 5. It is the first appearance of Apocalypse. It is a cameo. It is signed by Bob Layton. It does not have a signature of authenticity, but when I buy books that are signed, I make sure I do comparisons to, like, for example, I'll go and look at a CGC yellow labeled book, and I'm 98% to 99% sure that is his signature. But unless anybody was there to witness it, nothing is 100% guaranteed. But the bidding is only $99 on this book. You can see, look how sharp that book is. And they've confirmed that Apocalypse is in the new X-Men season 2, and they're actually getting him back to his comic accurate design instead of what they did in that X-Men movie, which I really didn't like. I hate when they change the characters, especially what they did with in Thor: Love and Thunder. They had such potential with that, and they just ruined it with the villain. But you could see the edges are sharp. Again, for a book with a lot of white, they usually show a lot of dirt. So this book, with white pages, by the way, only $99 to get the first appearance of Apocalypse cameo signed by Bob Layton, 9.4 to 9.8. I'd be very happy if somebody told me they got this and they graded it and came back a 9.8. But I'm just not going to guarantee it or sell it as a 9.8 because it's ungraded. And honestly, if this doesn't sell, I'm going to send this in to get graded because obviously if it comes back in 9.8 like I really believe it would, that's going to definitely increase the value of this book. So, $99 for X Factor number 5 signed. Going once, going twice. And if you're interested in that book, you have up to 1 week to contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com and let me know you're interested in that book. All right, we got classic cover time. Bidding starts at only $99. We've got Amazing Spider-Man number 301. Obviously, this is an homage of the issue before it, issue 300, but this is when he goes back to being in his original red and blue costume. Because remember, from issue 252 to issue 300, he was in the black suit. So this is a very iconic cover. Higher grade, but not 9.8. It's got a few non-color break increases. So again, this absolutely will be improved with a pressing. Of course, provided by who you send it to get pressed. But Amazing Spider-Man 301, starting at only $99. Again, and I'll go over it. For a book that's got so much white in it, you normally will pick up any fingerprints, and you could see this is nice and clean. And again, those wrinkles there, that's the bag. See, you can see it's how it's moving. It's not the comic. So you can see the edges are nice and sharp. Again, don't let those wrinkles fool you, and I'll move it just so you can see. That's the bag. See, that's not the comic. So I'll do it even closer here, so just so you can see. Trying to get the shadows away. See, that's the bag, not the comic. So I don't want anybody to not be happy with the book saying I'm trying to, cover something up or anything. So again, look how sharp the corner is. The edges are nice and clean and with off-white to white pages. And again, has a few non-color break increases. Pressings will fix those. So $99 for Amazing Spider-Man 301. Going once, going twice. And if you're interested in that iconic cover, you can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com up until next Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. And by the way, if anybody wants to thumb this up, or you can thumb it down, I'll leave it up to you. You could hit subscribe or unsubscribe, especially if you're interested in my auctions. I do them, probably every 3 or 4 months. So being subscribed keeps you in advance. Becoming a paid Patreon member, you get a week before anybody else can see a book listed on the auctions to be able to make offers on them. So there are advantages for that. Also, same thing if you join my YouTube membership programs. All right, next up, I had two of these. One of these already sold. This is the only one I have still available. Starts at only $99. It's a lower grade, but still very key comic. This, of course, is The Incredible Hulk 330. Go look up the prices of these books, even in lower grade. Now, it has a lot of wrinkles and things like that, so it can be improved, but I'm calling it between a 3.5 and a 4.5. Between 3.5 and 4.5 with off-white pages. Still the main important part of this book, because there's nothing significant in the book. It's the classic Todd McFarlane cover that makes this book desirable. So you can see it's not ripped to shreds. It's not faded. Oh, did I say the wrong number? Yes, it's Hulk 340. I don't know what I said, so forgive me. Silver Age, thank you for the correction. So yeah, this is Incredible Hulk 340. Don't mind me if I had a brain fart. Lower grade, but say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. Low grade is better than no grade, especially if this is a book that you couldn't afford in the higher grades. This is a chance to get it at a lower entry level until you can find a higher grade version. Because, like I said, this book, even though it doesn't have a first appearance or, a death or anything like that in this, it's just the cover. This is a very desirable book. Like I said, I had another version of this that sold when I did the sneak peek video. So the bidding is only $99 for Hulk 340. Like I say, I encourage people, go look on eBay and you will see, even if you see one for the same price, remember, they don't charge tax. So if you see, for example, one sold for $100, that's $100 plus whatever the shipping, plus the eBay taxes. So if you want to own for a lower grade, and again, off-white pages presents pretty darn well for what I'm grading it as. It could be higher than what I say, but I want to make sure people are happy. You can see there are some color break increases, but again, they're not destroying the comic. The comic isn't ripped to shreds. There aren't pieces missing. It's just a book that obviously has been loved and read on several occasions. So $99 for Hulk 340. Going once, going twice. And if you're interested in acquiring that book, you have up to 1 week to contact me, peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com, and let me know you're interested in that comic. Okay, again, price starting at only $99. For those who love the X-Men who are coming to the MCU, if you can't afford issue 94, which is the first where the new X-Men take over the X-Men franchise, this is X-Men number 96. Um, Mid-grade, I would say, in my opinion, between a 6.0 and a 7.0. Creamed off-white pages. This is the first appearance of Moira McTaggart and an early Chris Claremont X-Men issue. Bidding starts at only $99. There's a lot going on this cover. I'll try and get some close-ups so you can see that I'm actually pretty conservative with my grades. Because as you can see, not ripped to shreds, not faded, no rips and pieces missing. Because if there are rips and tears, I will mention them. You can see the edges are nice and sharp. Little bit of a rounding of the corner there, but no dog ears. And again, perfectly fine for the grades that I am estimating it to be. And again, the wrinkles are on the bag, not on the comic. So if you would like an early X-Men book, which, when it comes to the X-Men coming to the MCU, it's just going to make all X-Men comics much more desirable, which means prices go up. I'm selling books on their way up, not on their way down. So $99 X-Men number 96. In my opinion, between a 6.0 and 7.0. Make sure you're in live chat, not in top chat. Going once, going twice. And if you're interested in that book, peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. You can contact me up to 1 week. All right. Again, starting at $99. We've got X-Men 142. This is the first part of the Days of Future Past. Approximately mid-grade, 4.0 to 5.0. But not only is this a newsstand, this is a Mark Jewelers variant. Now, if anybody wants me to open it up to show the Mark Jewelers insert, I will be more than happy to do that. I'm not going to do it unless somebody's interested in purchasing the book because I don't want to potentially damage it. But I'm not going to make a claim without being able to prove it. So when it comes to Mark Jewelers variants, they are approximately between 5 and 7% of a total print run. So they are a lot harder to get. And especially when you're talking about Bronze Age books, definitely harder to get in high grade. Mark Jewelers books, especially for key issues, get pretty expensive. But again, I'm only starting the bidding at $99. So if anybody's interested and they need me to show the Mark Jewelers variant to prove it, I'll be more than happy to take this book out. But trust me, I would definitely not trying to deceive anyone. So you can see, even though I'm saying a 4.0 but to a 5.0 with off-white pages, it's still in relatively nice condition. You could see that's what they call dog ears, where it gets folded back a little bit. So there is color break increases there. But again, nothing major. This book absolutely can be improved by a pressing. But again, for the grade that I'm saying, it's not a horrible mess. But especially if you're looking for Mark Jewelers variants, can't go wrong with the X-Men. Again, this is part 1 of Days of Future Past. So $99 gets you a Mark Jewelers variant. Going once, going twice. And if you're interested in that book, you can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com up to 1 week from today, and that book can be yours. All right, so the comics get better as we go along. Um, Slab Holiday says, would you do that book and the other 340 for 200 shipped? Which books? Just make sure so I make sure we're on the same path. What two books are you referring to? You're talking about Hulk 340, and what is the second book? And I'll see what I can do. I just want to make sure I'm doing the right books. So I'll give them a second. So if you're referring to the book I just mentioned, but I don't want to assume. So if you could mention it again. So you're talking about Hulk 340. I want to make sure because there was another book in between. Okay, so you're talking about Hulk 340 and the X-Men 142 for 200 total. Um, yeah, I'll do that for you. Let me know now if you want to do it because I want to make sure if you change your mind or whatever, I want to make sure everybody's happy. So if you want to do 200 total for both of those books, I can absolutely I'll do that for you, no problem. So I'll wait until you give me a confirmation. I just want to make sure I got both books right. Okay, so he does say yes, no problem at all. So those two books are gonna well, yeah, I'm just gonna because I'm gonna just accept that. I'm not even gonna try and put it as anybody else to be bidding for those books. Okay, so as long as you live domestically, just want to make sure you don't live outside of the United States. So if you could just verify that, um, I can do the 200 total shipped as long as it's domestic shipping. So I'm sure that that's the case, but I want to make sure. Okay, so sold, no problem. So that means Uncanny X-Men 142 and Hulk 340 are no longer available for sale. So congratulations on that. And then let me just circle those. So yeah, I can't always do stuff like that, but every now and then if I have the ability for a little wiggle room. Oh, okay, I'm not sure based on the name of the the YouTube your Slab Holiday. I wasn't remembering it from that. So yeah, no problem, Texas. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so those two are sold. So thank you for that. And again, just to make sure you're in live chat, not top chat. And if there's any books that I've already gone over that people are interested in, just mention it. I have no problem going back. So congratulations, those two books are no longer available for sale. And so let's get to the next book. So very nice job on that, Slab Holiday. Next book. If you cannot afford his first appearance, next best thing. Mid-grade book. I'm going to say between a 4 and a 5. This absolutely cannot get higher than a 5 because as you can see, it has what's called a subscription crease. That was back in the days when people got these in the mail and they came folded in half, or they just folded them in half and put them in their back pockets. So you could see right there, the color breaking line goes all the way up and down. So just in case if you're not familiar with that, the highest the book can get with that complete subscription crease, and this has it complete all the way up and down, is a 5.0, but I'm saying between a 4 and a 5. This is the second appearance of the Scorpion. I'm starting the bidding at only $99. It is a 4.0 to 5.0, in my opinion. It is also the last Ditko issue, if that's important to you, of artists, and it has off-white pages. So again, if it wasn't for that subscription crease, it'd be a much nicer book. And again, those are, as you can see as I'm moving it, the wrinkles are on the bag, not on the comic. So the bidding on this is only $99 for a nice early Silver Age Amazing Spider-Man. Always love the issues where they have just Spider-Man's head instead of his full body here. Gary Hahn is here, says, "Hey everybody, how much did I miss? Um, 3 books have sold already. This is book 15, so you've missed the first 15. So you're not too far behind. The books you missed were Green Lantern 49, Edge of Spider-Verse number 5, Marvel Team Up 1, X-Men 221, Thor 337, Darth Vader 3, Marvel Spotlight 15, X Factor 5 signed, Amazing Spider-Man 301, and X-Men 96. So if any of those are books you were interested in, I can always go back to it after I go through this one. So I just mentioned those just in case. So if any of those that you missed, nobody bid on, you're interested in, let me know and I could show it again. So good to see you, Gary. Gary, ladies and gentlemen, check him out on, and forgive me if I'm wrong, I believe it's Instagram, but it's Crazy for Comics with the letter K instead of C. And tell him We Love Comics sent you. He's the one that did the trades with me for my Amazing Fantasy 15 and Wonder Woman #1. You can see I proudly display him here. He contacted me one day and offered those for a trade. Sent them without asking for anything until I got the books. I mean, you want to talk about a very trusting person. So he sells comics, and some of them are comics that I traded. So I can give you my guarantee that he is a very trustworthy person. So if you're not buying a comic from me or you don't see a book that I have, go check his out on Instagram. Tell him We Love Comics sent you. I'm sure he'll work something out for you. So we're going to end this one really quick. Again, you could see for a book from the 1960s, because this would be around 69, colors pop. And again, off-white pages, which is not that easy to find with Silver Age books. And again, those wrinkles are on the bag, not on the comic. 4.0 to a 5.0. Again, the biggest problem with this book is the subscription crease. But again, go look up this book. For me to be selling it for $99, and remember, no taxes, you're getting a good deal on this book. So, Amazing Spider-Man number 29, second appearance of the Scorpion, and the last Ditko issue. Going once, going twice, and if you're interested in that book, you have up until next Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time to contact me. As you can see right in the center with the PayPal at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. Or if somebody's watching this and they want me to go back to it, no problem with that at all. All right. Bidding again starts at only $99. Absolutely love this cover. This is a nice, higher than mid-grade book, but this is Captain America, issue 110, classic Sternenko cover. Absolutely love this cover. Now, the person I bought it from predicted a 6.5 grade for this book. I'm saying between a 6 and a 7. I think it probably is going to be a little bit higher than a 6.5, but I always want to make sure I do a grade lower and higher so you get the average out. But off-white to white pages. This is one of those books you hang up on the wall, especially if you love Sternenko's work in the 60s. And remember, Captain America started at issue 100. So it's an early Captain America issue. Only $99 is the starting bid. And again, I'll show you. So you can see the staples are silver. There's no rips on the staples. They are in firm. Say top staple, same thing. You're not seeing spine ticks all over the place. As a matter of fact, I don't see any. I'm trying not to cover it. Absolutely agree. Sternenko he's got a very curvy kind of drawings. Like everything's very rounded, but it just goes well. Makes the Hulk look gigantic there. Let me show the bottom. I'm trying to keep it. Again, the wrinkles are on the bag, not the book. I mean, you could see, well, I want to make sure you can see. There's a little bit of a bend, but it does not break color. So that could be pressed out. So you can see the very tip. But again, the edges nice and straight. So especially when you're talking about a Silver Age book, especially with the fact that it has off-white to white pages. And again, the corners nice and sharp. Now, Silver Age Surfer says, this is my first book I saw from him. I was immediately hooked. Same thing. This isn't the one I bought originally, but when I was a teenager, I was going through the regular boxes in the local comic book store. I saw this cover, had to get it. So I absolutely know what you're talking about. All right, so $99, Captain America issue 110 could be yours for $99 plus shipping. Going once, going twice. And if you want to add that to your collection, you can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com up to 1 week from today, which of course today is Sunday the 7th. So that would be until Sunday the 14th, because as I last checked, 7 plus 7 is 14, and at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. All right. If you're interested in the Captain America books, but you want one a little bit earlier, here's your chance. Bidding on this, again, only $99. Go look these up. Lower grade, but still for a low grade presents fairly well. I do have to make the disclosure that somebody along the line took a pen, and you could see colored in Captain America's costume and the shield. But if you hold it like this, for example, you can't really tell. But close up, I want to make sure full disclosure. And because of that, I don't know how they would grade that. I'm saying this is about a 2.0 to around, well, 2.5 to 3.5. So lower grade, it's not considered restoration or anything. So you're not going to get a purple label because, somebody wasn't trying to restore the book. There's just probably some kid who had this book and just colored it in because he was bored. But this is issue number 100. Go look these up. Even in lower grades, these are very not super expensive, but you're not finding these in the dollar bin. And it has I didn't write the pages just to be on the safe side from what I'm seeing on the top. I would have to say off-white. But again, I'm pricing it according to grade levels. And $99 for Captain America number 100. Because remember, when Captain America came back and became popular again from the Golden Age after he was in Avengers 4, he was in Tales of Suspense up until issue 99. And he was so popular, they gave him his own comic book. So that's why it's not Captain America number 1, it's Captain America number 100, because it went from Tales of Suspense to now exclusively Captain America. So this is his first solo title in the Silver Age. Because obviously, Captain America was created as a Golden Age character. Good luck getting that first appearance. If you win the lottery, I don't have that book. All right, so $99. Captain America issue number 100. Going once, going twice. And that book is available up to 1 week from today at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. Next up, lower grade. It does have one or two tears, but not major. You can see, unless I pointed it out, you probably wouldn't see it. But you can see there's like a little tear. It only goes through the cover. But as you can see again, not to the point where it's ripped to shreds. Bidding starts at 125. This is Lois Lane, number 70. This is the first Silver Age appearance of the Catwoman. I'm saying between a 3.0 and a 3.5 with off-white pages. Be able to get this book still relatively cheap. And you can see there are some color break increases, but that's why I graded it a lower grade between a 3.0 and a 3.5. Say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. Low grade is better than no grade, but that's the way to be able to get books that you might be interested in that may just be out of your price range in higher grades. And again, I don't charge taxes. So even if you saw this on eBay sell for the same price, you'd get it cheaper here, and you don't have to worry about somebody on eBay that could potentially scam you or send it in a manila envelope. Because, like I say, I send these priority mail And anybody that's ever purchased from me before can attest. And if you're here now, you can put in the live chat or in the comment section later your experiences with purchasing through me. So only $125 gets you the first Silver Age appearance of Catwoman in a lower grade, but it's a way to make it affordable. Going once, going twice. And if you are interested in that book, you have up until next Sunday at 11:59 p.m., which is Sunday, the 14th of June. Contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. This is a book. If it doesn't sell, I'll be more than happy to keep it. But prices on this, I'm selling it at only starting bid of $125. Key book. It's about a 6.0 to a 7.0. Amazing Spider-Man 252. We all know the significance of this book, obviously. Wasn't known as Venom at the time, but when he got his iconic black suit, it does have creases on the back cover, several creases on the back cover. Most of them break color, but not all. That's why I'm grading it between a 6 and a 7. They're basically between 1/4 of an inch to 1/8 of an inch. But again, some of them do not break color, so they can be pressed out, but with white pages. There are rumors that either at least the black suit will be showing up in the next Spider-Man movie. I don't know if there'll be Venom from it, or they save that for another time. But obviously, this is a book that's going to continue to rise. So if you think this book is expensive now, watch how it continues to go up in value. So again, I'm not selling you the first appearance of Captain America lifting up Thor's hammer. Nobody cares about that book anymore. It doesn't have value anymore. Books like this are going to keep going up. This and Secret Wars #8. So if you're interested in getting this book, only $125 between a 6.0 and a 7.0 with not major problems with it. Like I said, the majority of the problems are on the back, but the problems are a few between 1/4 of an inch and 1/8 of an inch color breaks, and some of the creases do not even break color. But especially if you're going to get a book graded, you'd rather have the damage either on the edge of the book or on the back. So if you're interested in a must-own comic, $125 gets you this book. Amazing Spider-Man, number 252. Like I said, this book is going to keep going up, so if it doesn't end up selling, I'll just wait and watch it go up higher. I've had many people that regret not purchasing from me from an auction, thinking the price was too high, and then the price goes up even higher, and they regret they didn't make the purchase. So $125 for Amazing Spider-Man 252. Going once, going twice. And anybody that watches this after the auction ends, or if anybody's in here and they change their mind, that book is available up until next Sunday, the 14th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. We got PG Runkle in the house. Says, hey, Chris, what's up? Good to see you. Welcome to my live auction. Books are getting better as we go. All right, next up, we got a first appearance for you Spider-Man fans out there. This is a nice higher grade book, not in the 8s or 9s, but between a 6 and a 7. I'm charging only a starting bid of only $129. We've got Amazing Spider-Man number 46, first appearance of the Shocker. Now, this is a Silver Age book, creamed off-white pages, between a 6 and a 7. But this book, color-wise, pops for a Silver Age book. Go look up how much these cost. You're going to see, I always check. So unless something sold today and I wasn't aware of it, I always check eBay to see the lowest one sold, and I will either match it or sell it for lower. Because remember, you don't get charged eBay taxes here. So even if you saw it for the same price that I'm listing it as, you're not paying the additional cost, which they don't show you in the price that it sold for, which is the eBay tax. So if you want to keep first appearance, I would say he's a B minus to a C plus character overall in the Shocker, in my opinion, but still definitely known. $129 gets you a nice, again, upper mid grade, because like I said, it's about a 6.0 to 7.0. So I'll try and close in. Again, that's not color break increases, that's just wrinkles in the bag. I'll try and show some close-ups. So those aren't color break increases, and I'll move the bag so you can see. See how they disappear when I angle it. So there we go. I'll give you a better angle. So you can see the spine nice and tight. The top of the book, you're not seeing color breaking pinches everywhere. He says, I was referred here by my friend Corey Knight. I'm excited to see your channel and these comics. Thank you and welcome. And tell Mr. Knight, I really appreciate the referral. Just so you know, on my auctions, if you're interested in any of these books during the live show right now, you could place a bid on the comics. I offer payment plans, cash discounts, check discounts, payment plans for any books over $399. I ship everything within 24 business hours of complete payment, and I send everything priority mail, well packaged. You will never get a manila envelope from me. So, last chance if you're interested in this book. And I always tell people, especially since you're new, any unsold comics in the live auction, people have up to 1 week after the auction is closed to be able to purchase any of the unsold books. Gives people a chance if they change their mind or all of a sudden they just maybe got a bonus in their payment or got a raise and they actually have extra money. But I sell all books people want. I don't sell any fillers. No 25-cent books I'm trying to up, get rid of. I'm selling key issues and books that people want. All right, so last chance to make a bid on this book, Amazing Spider-Man 46, first appearance of the Shocker. In my opinion, between a 6.0 and a 7.0, cream to off-white pages for only $129 plus shipping. Going once, going twice, and if you are interested in that book, you can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com up until next Sunday, the 14th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay. Nice upper mid-grade book. First appearance, bidding starts at $199. I actually love the date stamp on this one. But this is Daredevil number 4, first appearance of the Purple Man. There is a 1-inch tear on the front cover. Let's see if I can see it right here. And in the inside of the cover, so you could barely see it. So you can see it's not ripped to shreds, but there you go. So there's about a 1-inch, 1.5-inch rip. And on the inside of the cover, they put tape. Tape isn't restoration. Other than that, this book would be a lot higher if it didn't have that tear. Because this book is clean. Especially, again, for a book from the early 60s, mid to early 60s, and with such a white cover. So especially if you cannot afford Daredevil number 1, it's a nice little first appearance. Off-white pages, by the way, which again, for a book from the 60s, to get off-white pages, and again, I love the placement of that date stamp. So it shows July 28th, 1964. So a little bit rounded edge, but again, that would fit into the grade I'm predicting it to be. This could absolutely be improved by a pressing. So I'm basing the grades on what it is, not what it could potentially be. But again, you can see it's not ripped to shreds. There are no coupons cut out. Nice early Daredevil book. Only $199. Gets you a nice higher mid-grade, like I said, between a 5.5 and a 6.0 with off-white pages for only $199. So again, I encourage people, look it up on eBay. And again, no taxes. So I'll give people a chance to look that up. And again, make sure you are in live chat and not in top chat. The way you can tell is where you type your chats. look to the top left section of that area. It'll either say live chat or top chat. If it says top chat, switch it to live chat. Otherwise, there's approximately about a 30-second delay. So we'll give another few seconds for people to actually look this up and take the chance to see. But again, nice upper mid-grade book. First appearance of Purple Man, Daredevil in his yellow suit. Because remember, he was only in the yellow suit until issue 6. And he went from a single D to double D, so he probably took steroids or got a chest implant. So $199, Daredevil number 4, 6.0, I'm sorry, 5.5 to 6.0, off-white pages. Going once, going twice, and that book will be available for anybody to contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com up to 1 week after this auction ends. Next up, starting at only $199, another key issue. Now, this is very important. Amazing Spider-Man 238, first appearance of the Hobgoblin. Now, one thing, if you're not aware of this book, you have to make sure that it has the tattoos. Now, I'm not going to take this out because I already did it, but if you look in the sneak peek video that I did last Sunday, I actually took this out and I actually showed that the tattoo is intact. So if you get this book, many people will get this book not realizing where the tattoo is, get it graded, and it comes back a green label. So this one is complete. Now, if somebody did not see that video and they're interested in making a purchase of this book, if they want me to take it out and show you the tattoo, I'll be more than happy to do that. But again, I've already shown it in the other video, so if you watch that video, I don't want to keep taking this out, potentially ruining the book. But rest assured, I guarantee 100% that the tattoo is in this book. That is the biggest thing for this book is the tattoos. Many of them are missing, which makes this book incomplete. But this one has it. So my grade on this is between a 6.5 and a 7.5. This absolutely can be increased with the pressing. So I'm not selling it on where it could be. I'm selling it on where it is. So between a 6.5 and a 7.5 with off-white pages, bidding starts at only $199. First appearance of the Hobgoblin, complete with the tattoos. Go look this up, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I'm saying 6.5 to 7.5 without a pressing. So it could get, I can't guarantee it, but it could get even higher if you get a pressing because it has a lot of, not a lot of, but it has a few on the back non-color breaking creases that can absolutely be improved with the pressing. So I'll give people, again, go on eBay, go look up this book, see how hard it is to find complete because many of them end up with the green label. And I've had people tell me that the book, when I bought them raw, I've had people tell me that the tattoos were in them, only to find out they didn't know what they were talking about and the tattoos were not in them. This one does. So, last chance. Amazing Spider-Man 238, $199 complete with the tattoo. 6.5 to 7.5, potentially higher if getting pressed. Off-white pages. Going once, going twice. And that is a pretty decent book available for you up to 1 week from today by contacting me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. All right, now this person has been confirmed to be in Daredevil Season 3. Here's your chance to get this book before the book continues to get higher and higher. Again, I sell books that go up in value, not go down in value. This book starts at only $199. This is a nice upper grade. Now, it's not 9.0 range, but in my opinion, between a 6.0 and a 7.0 with off-white pages. This is the first appearance of Luke Cage, ladies and gentlemen. And again, with a book that's all black. You're not seeing dozens of color-breaking creases. This book looks pretty darn nice. Now, he has been confirmed to be back and is in season 3 of Daredevil. And the original actor from the Netflix series is playing Luke Cage. And there are rumors that there would be potentially doing a Hero for Hire spinoff because they're also bringing back Danny Rand. So look this book up. This book is going to continue to get hotter and hotter, especially if they end up doing a spinoff Hero for Hire series. But he is already confirmed to be in Daredevil season 3. First appearance of Luke Cage at only $199. And again, I'll do some close-ups so you can see how nice this book is. And again, remember, no taxes on these. So you're saving about, depending on the state, anywhere from like 6% to 8% additional cost. So this is one of those books, if people say, oh, that's too expensive, they're going to look back in a couple of months and say, boy, I wish I would have paid that price. So about a 6.0 to a 7.0, which is very hard to get with a book with a lot of black in the cover. Off-white pages. $199 for first appearance of Luke Cage. Going once, going twice. That's another book. Well, you have up to a week to contact me. So that's another book I do not mind holding on to because that book's just going to keep going up in price. Especially, like I said, if the rumors are true about them doing the Hero for Hire spinoff. But nothing is guaranteed until it's guaranteed. All right, here's a book I don't think I've ever seen anybody sell on eBay. Well, not on eBay, but on the YouTube auctions. Price starts at only $199. If you're interested in Mad Magazine, this is Mad issue number 24. This is the first issue of Mad Magazine. Because if you're not aware, issues 1 through 23 were a comic book, and they were comic book size. This is also the first mention of the famous Albert E. Newman's saying of what me worry. This is a little bit lower than mid-grade. I'm giving it between a 4.0 and a 4.5. Creamed off-white pages. There is a 1-inch tear on the bottom left-hand corner, and there are a bunch of wrinkles on this that could be easily pressed out. So this is the first issue of Mad Magazine. So this is not technically a comic, but the reason I'm selling it here is because it used to be a comic. Issue 1 through issue 23, it was in comic book format. They changed it to the iconic Mad Magazine. Here's your chance to own the first issue. Selling it at only $199. Like I said, between about a 4.0 to a 4.5. Pressing could potentially bring it up higher. But again, I do not sell based on what it could be when it's ungraded. So here's your chance to own something that not many people have at only $199. Again, go look it up and you'll see not a cheap book. Mad Magazine, issue number 24. Going once at $199. Going twice. And if you're interested in adding that to your repertoire, you can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. All right, this is a definite must own if you are a Spider-Man fan or a comic book collector. The bidding starts at $225. This is a nice upper mid-grade, well, mid-grade, a little bit upper mid-grade. Oh, press the wrong button. I'm saying it's about a 5.0 to a 6.0 with off-white pages. Amazing Spider-Man 122, Death of the Green Goblin. This is absolutely an iconic comic. Nice and colorful, bright. Again, my opinion, between a 5.0 and a 6.0 with off-white pages. Loved reading this story. Two-part issue between 121 and 122. They're both must-owns if you're a comic collector. But here's the chance to get it for only $225. And again, I'll close in and I encourage people, go look up on eBay. Go look at what these prices sell for. You can see staples are nice and silver. There's no tears in the staples. The edges are nice and straight. No dog ears. A little bit of a minor rounding, but not anything particular that would be out of the realm of my grading between a 5.0 and a 6.0. Edges nice and sharp. Again, little rounding in the corners, but again, I'm saying between a 5.0 and a 6.0. So it absolutely would be no issue, but it's not ripped to shreds. The colors pop, and here's your chance. $225 gets you the Death of the Green Goblin, an iconic must-own comic in my opinion, whether you're a Spider-Man fan, a Marvel fan, or just a comic fan. It's a must-own in your collection, in my opinion. I have several copies, so I do not mind selling one of my mid-range books. And that's why I encourage people to always, if they can, get multiple copies of stuff. So if you ever need to do a trade, like I did with Gary Hahn, for example, or if you need to sell a book, you could sell it and still have a copy. So here's your last chance right now in the live show. Amazing Spider-Man number 122, starting bidding of only $225, 5.0 to 6.0 with off-white pages. Death of the Green Goblin, going once, going twice. And if you're interested in that book, you can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com up until next Sunday, the 14th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Prices are starting to go up from here, but once we get to the $399 mark, payment plans are available. But again, I'm selling these without taxes, so the higher the price book, the more money you're saving without having to pay taxes. Bidding starts on this one at only $275. If you cannot afford his first appearance or his second appearance, because they are quite expensive, it's a lower grade book. But again, as you can see, my lower grades are not ripped to shreds. They're not disgusting. But I'm saying it's 3.0 to a 3.5, cream to off-white pages. This is Tales of Suspense number 41, the third appearance of Iron Man and his second appearance in the gold armor. Because as you can see right here, his first appearance, he had his iron suit. And it wasn't until issue 40 that he had the golden armor. So this has a wrinkled back, a small piece missing in the top left corner. That's why I'm giving it such a low grade, even though it looks nice. 3.0 to 3.5 cream to off-white pages. And these are not color breaking creases. That's the design and the artwork. So I just want to make sure people know that. So this is $275. That'll save you about $15 in taxes, roughly, depending on the state. It will vary. Again, off cream to off-white pages, missing a little piece in the back left corner. But again, if you're going to have any kind of problems with the book, better to have it on the back, especially if you're getting the book graded, because you're only going to display it from the front. Tales of Suspense number 41, $275. Going once. Third appearance of Iron Man, second appearance of his golden armor. Going twice. And if you're wanting that book, you have up until next Sunday at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. Now, I showed 122. Here's 121 and even a higher grade. Bidding starts at $399, which means if you need to, 2-month payment plan. So you're talking basically $200 a month. This is, in my opinion, a 6.5 to a 7.5 with off-white pages. This is the death of Gwen Stacy. For a book that has a lot of yellow in it, this book is really in nice condition. So people looking for higher grade books, and again, I try and grade lower than what I think it is because I would rather be wrong and it be higher than be wrong than be lower. Like that's like the most major problem is those two little spots right there. But again, not out of the realm of possibility. with me saying a 6.5 to a 7.5. And again, go look up these prices of this book. This qualifies if you need it for a 2-month payment plan. No interest. So it costs basically about $200 a month to be able to afford Amazing Spider-Man number 121, The Death of Gwen Stacy, in a nice high grade between 6.5 and 7.5. Off-white pages. And again, the colors on this for a book that's an early Bronze Age book pop. Another must-have, like I said, with 122, you got to have 121. So $399, 6.5 to 7.5 off-white pages. Death of Gwen Stacy. Give people a chance to look this book up. And again, how much money are you saving on the taxes? This qualifies for a 2-month payment plan if you need it. Obviously, if you pay in full, you get the book right away. But you can see the edges are straight. The corners are nice and pointy. Like I said, the only major problem is those two little dots right there that break color. $399. Going once. Going twice. And that book will be available up until next Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time if you contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. All right, so we got 3 more ungraded books, and then we get into the graded comic section. And there's some grail books in the graded comic section. So every book from this point on can qualify for a payment plan if you need it. And again, no interest. This starts at only $425. We've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #2. This is a first print, ladies and gentlemen. This is a high grade between 9.2 and 9.6. I'm not going to give this a 9.8, but still, the reason I say between 9.2 and 9.6 is there's 1 or 2 non-color breaking wrinkles on the back of the book that can absolutely be improved with the pressing if you send it to the right presser. Off-white pages, which is also very difficult to get with this book. So this is the first appearance of April O'Neil, and I forget the name of these creatures. This is a wraparound cover. If anybody knows the name of these creatures, I think they're Bowsers or some kind of thing like that. But you can put it in a live chat or in the comment section if you know. But again, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 first print, you're talking for a 0.5 of that would probably cost you about $5,000. But again, first appearance of April O'Neil, so there is a key first appearance in this book, and second appearance ever of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And again, this is a first print. Go look these up, ladies and gentlemen. There are people selling second and third prints of this book for about the same price. High grade between 9.2 and 9.6 with off-white pages. Starting bidding is only $425. And again, that would be qualifying for a 2-month payment plan. So to put it in perspective, I'm not including the shipping with the total I'm putting here, but if you do 425 divided by 2, that's a little bit, or roughly around $213 per month to own the second appearance of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in a first print, high grade. Definitely a book that's going to continue to be desirable. It's another book, again, I don't care if it sells, because if it doesn't, this book is just going to continue to go up in value. Don't regret missing out. Because again, no eBay taxes. I'm better than George Bush. When I say no new taxes, I actually keep my promise. All right, so going once, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #2, first print, only $425, 9.2 to 9.6 grade off-white. Going twice. And that book will be available for anybody watching this later on or somebody here that changes their mind. Contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. And you are up until next Sunday, the 14th at 11:59 p.m. All right, we got our first Golden Age book. As far as I can tell, this is complete. There's no coupons missing or anything like that. I cannot guarantee Golden Age as far as restoration. I mean, obviously, if I bought it something with restoration, I would tell you, but I can't guarantee if there is or is not. But I just mentioned that up front because, like I said, I prefer to be honest. Uh, you never know when it comes to a Golden Age book, but nothing when I bought it was ever said there is. So I always mention there might be potential just in case, so be prepared. But starting at only $425, this is All Flash Quarterly, issue number 3. It's a very thick book. Now, I'm saying it's about a 3.0 to a 3.5. The centerfold is detached, but that's it. The rest of the book is completely attached to the staples. This came out in 1941. Very heavy book. So if you love The Flash and you love trying to get his early stuff, issue number 3, not easy to come by. Go look up on eBay. You're not going to see many of these for sale. So this is not a rare book, but rarer for only $425. And again, would qualify up to 2-month payment plan if you need it. And again, if you pay for it all up front, you get the book right away. And again, there's a little bit of an indent here, but that can be pressed out. But you do want to be careful with Golden Age books. So $425, All Flash Quarterly, issue number 3, with, by the way, white pages. The inside of this book is beautiful. Not many books from the early 40s are going to have white pages. This isn't cream to white. This isn't off white. This isn't even off white to white. The pages are nice, solid white for only $425. And remember, no eBay taxes. Go look this book up. All right. So, last chance on this book right here during the live auction, 425. Going once, going twice. And if you're interested in owning that book, you can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com up until next Sunday. All right, this is the last one of the raw books, and then we get to the graded books. Again, payment plans are available. This book starts at $599. Now, with $599, it would be a 2-month payment plan. But if you bid 600, which is only $1 more, you can get an additional month, so it'd be 3 months. So if you say 600 instead of 599, you get another month to pay for it, which would bring it down instead of $300 a month, it would be $200 a month. So that makes it a little bit easier. But we've got, and this is a very difficult comic to get. This is Flash issue number 20. This is a fairly rare book. Very hard to get. Not many of these for sale. It has a detached, the top staple is detached from the front cover only. This is from 1941. Bottom staple is barely hanging on, but it is still attached. So this is definitely a book that is the reason why you want to get books graded. So I'm saying about a 2.5 to a 3.0 with creamed off-white pages. Again, very hard to get with books that old. Again, this came out in 1941. This book is not easy to get. Again, it's not 10 comic rare, but this is definitely not a book that has a lot of them still in existence. So $599 you can get this book, but again, if you say 600, which is only $1 more, you go from 3-month payment plan, I'm sorry, 2-month payment plan to a 3-month payment plan. So if you're looking for early age Flash without breaking the wallet, breaking the bank, here's your chance to get a rarer book from 1941. And again, cream to off-white pages. Flash number 20 at $599 going once, going twice. And that will end the first part we will now get to the graded comics. Now, the graded comics, there's some grails in here. We're going from the quote unquote worst graded comic to the absolute best at the end. So they get better as they go, but this is the quote unquote worst. Put this aside. Starting bidding. Let me get to the graded section. Okay. Starting bidding is only $599. But again, if you do, and I'm going to take these out of the bags to make it a little bit easier. If you do 600 instead of 599, it goes from 2-month payment plan to a 3-month payment plan. So this is the quote unquote worst book. This is what we're starting out as the low book. That's Fantastic Four number 6. This is a 3.5 off-white to white pages. Again, a lot of these have very high colored pages. This is the second appearance of Doctor Doom. So if you cannot afford the first appearance, next best thing is his second appearance, but it is also the first villain team up between Doctor Doom and the Submariner. So they do mention the first Marvel villain team up. Second Silver Age appearance of the Submariner, but I'm actually surprised they do not list that this is the second appearance of Doctor Doom. Great key book to add to your collection, and of course I will show the back. Now, those of you who know the deal I have with PGX, my idea was to add Graders Notes to the back of the slab, so I'll actually go over the Graders Notes are printed here. Now, this was one of the earliest ones I sent in to PGX when they first came up with the idea, so later on, you'll see they fixed this label, but this was in the trial stage when they first accepted the idea. But these actually have Graders Notes on the back. Again, $599. You don't have to worry about paying for grading fees. It was pressed and dry cleaned. 3.5 grade. Go look up how expensive this book is. Doctor Doom coming to the MCU. What do you think that's going to do to books like this? You think it's going to lower the price, keep the price the same, or keep the prices going up? So again, I'm selling books that are on the rise. So again, if they don't sell, I'll just hold off and watch the prices go up. $599. Again, no taxes either. So even if you saw one sold for the same price, they don't include the taxes, which would be anywhere between 6% and 8%, depending on the state. You don't have to pay taxes here. So, second appearance of Doctor Doom, second Silver Age appearance of Submariner, first villain super team up, all in one. 3.5, and I'll show the back again. You can see, even for 3.5, looks pretty darn good. And I'll read the Graders Notes. But again, only $599. But if you say a bid of 600, it goes from a 2-month payment plan to a 3-month payment plan, if you need it. Because like I say, again, if you pay for it in full, you get the book right away. Let's read the Graders Notes. And if nobody's interested, we'll move on to the next one. Multiple stress lines along the spine. That's to be expected. That means the book was read over the years. Multiple significant creases. Is that a 7 or a 1? Yeah, 7-inch edge tear on front cover. That's why the grade is so low, because of the tear on front cover, and spine chip at the bottom of front cover. So you can see right there. That's why it's such a low grade. But the majority of the problems are along the edge. So for a 3.5, it presents very well. So like I said earlier, that if I'm going to have damage on a book, I'd rather it be on the back or on the edges. And that's exactly where the problems are with this book. So it will display very nicely. So $599 gets you Fantastic Four number 6 at a 3.5. Again, no taxes. Payment plans available. Going once, going twice. And if you're interested in that book, you can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. Oh, let me put the bag back on that. And again, that is until 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday the 14th. All right. This character has been rumored to be in a live action movie. Never been in one before. This is a comic that I've been recommending for years to get. Many people didn't listen, many people regretted it. Here's your chance to own. Starting bidding at $625. Edge of Spider-Verse #2. First print. 9.8 with white pages. Now, obviously, there are no graders notes on this one because they rarely put any graders notes on a book from 9.8 to higher. Go look these up. I was telling people for years, her and Miles Morales are two comics you absolutely want to invest in early. This book is going to continue to keep rising. And like I said, the rumors are that Sony has agreed to put her and Miles Morales in a live action, either MCU or Sony movie. And again, until something like that is absolutely on the screen, anything can change. But I would be shocked. I was telling people for years, since about 2018, and people that have been watching my channel for years can attest this, that these two will eventually get in the MCU. And I'll show the back. So this is a big boy modern book. And again, 9.8 with white pages. Bidding starts at $625. So that's a 3-month payment plan. So just put it in perspective. And again, I'm not adding the shipping, but it will be around $208 per month for 3 months to get you to get a 9.8 Edge of Spider-Verse 2, first appearance as Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider, first printing. This, in my opinion, if you're a modern book collector, must own comic. Again, it's a book. I have several copies, so I don't mind selling one. I have a couple, probably 2 or 3 9/8s. It's another book that's going to keep going in price. So if it doesn't sell, I'll just sit back and sell it again in a year or two and watch it double in price. All right, so Edge of Spider-Verse #2 and a 9.8, $625 starting bid, up to 3-month payment plan. Going once, going twice. And that'll be a great book for somebody who might have missed the live auction. You can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com up to 1 week, which is Sunday the 14th at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Bidding starts $699. This is a key Golden Age first appearance. Not many chances to get Golden Age first appearances. We've got Batman #59. This is the first appearance of Deadshot. This is a nice lower grade 2.5 with off-white to white pages. Now, this is not considered restoration because there was a staple added. There's tape on the interior front cover, but again, this is not a restored book because you're not restoring, just somebody added a third staple for some strange reason. All you have to do is remove that staple if that bothers you. But that's not a restoration because you're not improving the book by adding an extra staple. It's not like you're replacing a staple that was already there. You just added one for some strange reason. But again, this came out in 1954. Again, first appearance of Deadshot. Right there, you can see it. And again, for a book that old, off-white to white pages, not easy to find. There's a chance to get a nice Golden Age key book that presents, again, you can see the piece here a little bit missing. But again, overall, for a book from 1950s, presents really well. And I'll show the back. And of course, this also has grader's notes. And as you can see, this was graded a little bit later, so you can see how they center it better. Because like I said, the other one was one of the initial first ones I sent in, so it was kind of a trial basis. Again, no coupons missing. Colors pop for a book that early. Bidding starts at only $699. And again, think of how much taxes you're saving. So even if you saw this sold at the same grade for the same price, you're talking at $699 roughly about $49 to $55 in taxes you're saving. Go look this up. I encourage people. I mean, how many people do you know on YouTube that are doing comic book auctions? Encourage you to go on eBay to look at sold prices. Because I go on eBay and I find the book in this grade and the cheapest one that was sold, and I sell it for cheaper. And I don't add the eBay taxes. So here's your chance to get a nice Golden Age key book, Batman 59, which, by the way, has a Joker appearance. It is a future Joker cover. Well, not cover, but it's a future Joker, but Joker appearance nonetheless. So, Batman 59, $699, up to a 3-month payment plan if you need it with no interest. Going once, going twice. And that book will be available up until next Sunday, the 14th at 11:59 Eastern Time by contacting me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. Next up, this is a big boy book. Low grade, but say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. Low grade is better than no grade. Starts at $899. This will qualify for up to 6-month payment plan. So just to put that in perspective, and again, I'm not adding the taxes, but 899 divided by 6 would mean for basically $150 a month, you can own the first appearance of the Sandman, who, by the way, was in Spider-Man Noir. And that's not a spoiler because they showed him in some of the trailers. This is not qualified. I'm sorry, it's not restored, but the centerfold is detached and a coupon ripped out of the back cover. But it has off-white to white pages. Nice, respectable 1.8. But again, the quote-unquote damage is on the back. So here's the chance to get Spider-Man 4 complete. Now you can see the Marvel Comics code that was ripped. Looks like probably somebody got tape stuck to it. Who knows? But how often do you get this for sale on a YouTube auction? First appearance of the Sandman. Again, up to 6 months for a payment plan, which averages out roughly to about $150 a month. So if you can afford $150 a month with no interest, you can own the first appearance of Sandman and a very early Amazing Spider-Man. First appearance of the Sandman. This does not have greatest notes because this was before I came up with the idea. But still, again, off-white to white pages. And the beautiful thing is, with the centerfold detached, you don't have to worry because it's encapsulated. So here's your chance to get a piece of history, ladies and gentlemen. These are kind of books that go up and up over time. Starting bidding, again, only $899. Again, think of how much money you're saving in taxes. Roughly around $60 and up. You're saving in extra taxes if you were to buy it on eBay. So, Amazing Spider-Man number 4 in a 1.8. Again, off-white to white pages. Up to 6-month payment plan if needed. Going once. Going twice. And that book will be available up until 1 week from today at contacting me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. All right, we got a nice little big boy book and a nice high grade book. Bidding starts at $1,099. Go look up this comic. It will qualify up to 9 months if you need it. So if you take $1,099, again, I'm not including the shipping cost, and divide that by 9 for only approximately $122 a month, no interest, you can own Incredible Hulk number 180, has the Marvel value stamp, 9.0 with white pages. I was actually surprised when I sent this in to get graded that it only got a 9.0. Look how gorgeous this book is. This, of course, is the first appearance of Wolverine, albeit in a cameo, but still his first appearance ever. In my opinion, one of the more underrated Marvel Bronze Age books out there. But you have a chance to get a high grade 9.0. Now, since I got this graded myself, I guarantee that the Marvel value stamp is in there. So you don't have to worry about a CGC book where somebody at CGC or somebody sending a book to CGC swapped the label and you end up finding out that your book actually doesn't have the Marvel value stamp. This you could watch because I have the videos when I got these books and I actually show the Marvel value stamps. So it's guaranteed to be in there. So the price for this book, only $1,099 starting bid, up to 9 months to pay for it with no interest. Now you're talking around $75 to $80 in taxes also you're saving. Approximately about $122 a month can get you a high grade Hulk 180 9.0 white pages. Again, another book I do not mind holding on to if nobody wants to purchase it or sees the opportunity to get a high grade copy of Wolverine's first appearance. Again, albeit a cameo, but you'll never have 181 without 180. So, Hulk, go look this up, ladies and gentlemen. Go look how expensive these books are. You're not getting a 9 month payment plan from somebody on eBay. You're not going to have them pay for the taxes. Going once, going twice. And that book will be available up until 1 week from today, Sunday the 14th, at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. Now, here's a very big boy book. Expensive. It is a low grade. It is coverless with a facsimile cover. It is missing the last 2 pages, but does not affect the story. But I'm selling it at a very reasonable price. Not easy to get in low grade. Many people will not be able to afford this, and even a 0.5. Bidding starts at $1,199. That also qualifies for up to 9 month payment plan, which brings the payments to approximately $133. And you can own Amazing Spider-Man #1. It is a 0.3. But the story is complete. First appearance of Jane Jonah Jameson, first Spider-Man issue, first appearance of the Chameleon, first meeting between the Fantastic Four and Amazing Spider-Man, off-white to white pages. Now, it's coverless, like I said, but it's got the facsimile cover, which makes it look presentable. Um, the staples have been removed, and again, the last 2 pages are missing, but does not affect the story. So those are advertisement pages. So the entire story is complete. Go look up what somebody selling a CGC page of this book goes. People have paid up to $200 to $300 for 1 page of this book. So here's a chance to get a lower grade, but now you could say you have Amazing Spider-Man #1. I'm selling it again for only $1,199 with up to a 9 month payment plan if you need it. No interest. No taxes either, which saves you again $75 to $85 in taxes, again, depending on the state. This to me is a no-brainer. Go look up somebody that sold a page of this book, and you'll see anywhere from $150 to $400 for a page. A 0.5 of this book is around $4,000 to $5,000. So you're getting the next best thing at basically $1,200. Another book I'll just keep holding on to. The price will keep going up. This is an opportunity that many people do not offer, especially on YouTube auctions. So Amazing Spider-Man #1 at a 0.3, but again, off-white to white pages. Going once, going twice. And either I'll continue to hold on to that, or somebody can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com and acquire that book. All right, there are 5 books left. Many would think this is like the #1 book when you see it, but it's only 5 on the remaining list. Price starts at $1,399. Again, that would qualify for up to 9 months of payment plans if you need it. So for basically $155 a month. Oh, let me just, there we go. Take this off. So basically for about $155 a month, give or take, you can own Daredevil #1. Now, as you can see, it's missing the top part here. It does go all the way around, but graded accordingly. A 2.0. Go look up a 0.5 and see how expensive these books are. And again, off-white to white pages. You could see the page color right through the little tear there where they cut out. I guess somebody maybe put it on their notebook or something. Who knows? But how often do you see this for sale? Daredevil #1. First appearance of Daredevil. First appearance of Foggy Nelson. First appearance of Karen Page. And death of Daredevil's father. Stan Lee story. And I'll show the back as again, like I said, it does have grader's notes. This was one of the first books I ever sent in. So this is actually one of the first 4 books I sent in to get graded by PGX that has the grader's notes on them. So again, you're going to be saving a lot of money on taxes. Chance to own Daredevil #1 for only $1,399. Let's read the grader's notes. Go look these up. Moderate stress lines along the spine. That just means the book was read. Moderate cover, edge, and spine wear to be expected on a lower grade book. Weak spine, another advantage of having these encapsulated. 1.75 to approximately 3-inch piece top out of spine, front and back cover, which I showed. And that's it. So for a 2.0, except for that one spot in the top corner, presents very well, but you own the first appearance of Daredevil. Now, I have 2 copies of this book. I think at one point I had up to 5 copies, but I sold all the rest. So I have one other copy, which is actually a lower grade. It's a 1.8. So here's your opportunity to get the first appearance of Daredevil, which, by the way, they've confirmed season 3. So what do you think is going to happen to this book? Do you think it's going to go down in value? You think it's going to stay stagnant? Or you think it's going to keep going up? So these are missed opportunities if you have the ability to pay approximately $155 a month to own such a key book. Going once, going twice. And if you're interested in that book, contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. And you have until next Sunday, the 14th at 11:59 p.m. to acquire first appearance of Daredevil. And again, no interest on the payments and no taxes. Next up, price starts. Where are we? $1,799. So again, 9-month payment plan. That would come out to approximately $200 a month, $199 and change. You get the chance to own a nice mid-grade Journey into Mystery 85. First appearance of Loki, first cameo of Odin, first appearance of Heimdall in the Rainbow Bridge. This has off-white pages. Bidding starts at $1,799. Now you're talking roughly about $100, $90 to $100 in taxes you would save by purchasing through me. And again, if you pay by check or money order, a book like this would be 6% off. If you pay by cash, it would be 7% off. So the price would even be lower in the payment plans. So you're talking about another $100 off, roughly, give or take. So again, look these up, and it has grader's notes, so I will go over them. But these are the big boy books that people want. And I'm giving people with the payment plans opportunities to be able to make it easier. And again, look how nice. For a 4.5 grade, this book presents really well. I was actually surprised that the price was that low. I mean, the grade was that low. But let's go over the grader's notes. Multiple creases and stress lines along the spine. Again, that means the book was read over the years. Multiple edge tears. That happens with early Marvel books. Staining, which nothing major. Like you could see, there's the stains. So it's not covering the book or anything, but it's there. Staples, staple tears at bottom, but still connected. Significant cover edge and spine wear. Book's complete, not restored, nothing missing. Displays beautifully. I mean, look how bright the reds are. First appearance of Loki, who again still has MCU movie in him. He's going to be in Secret Wars. They've confirmed that, so it's not a spoiler. Your chance to own a very key book. And by the way, third appearance of Thor. $1,799 up to a 9-month payment plan, no interest. Going once, going twice. And if you're interested in that book, you can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. 3 books left. This is one of the rarer books I have for sale. Very hard to acquire. Book starts at $1,999. But if you make an offer of $2,000, just $1 more, it goes from a 9-month payment plan to a 12-month payment plan. So at $2,000 divided by 12, you would be paying only 100 approximately, because again, I'm not adding the shipping cost. You would be paying about $166 a month to own Tales to Astonish, Off-White to White Pages, issue number 13, first appearance of Groot. This is not an easy book to get, and not many people sell these on YouTube. So the bidding starts at $1,999. But like I said, if you say 2,000, which is only $1 more, it goes from a 9-month payment plan to a 1-year payment plan, which, like I said, is roughly about $166 a month. It is a 3.5 grade off-white to white pages. This is not an easy book to get. It also has grader's notes. But again, I sent this in early. That's why you see the PGX label in the center. They fixed that later on. But look how clean this book is for a 3.5. Not an easy book to acquire. And again, now you're talking $130 to $140 in tax savings on top of no interest payment plans, on top of check, money order, and cash discounts. Because again, if you sent check or money order, this would be a 6% discount off of the total price. And if you send the cash payments, it's 7% off. So the payments would be even cheaper. Go look this up, ladies and gentlemen. Very hard book to acquire. Go look up at what a point 0.5 sells for. I sell these very competitively. And these are the books people want to add. How much for the Amazing Fantasy 15? 20 grand, it's yours. Cash up front. But we got Tales to Astonish 3.5. Let me go over the grader's notes. We have 1 inch by 3/4 of an inch corner chip on the front cover, multiple stress lines along the spine. Again, that means people read it. Cover and edge wear, browning of interior cover, 1.25-inch corner chip on back cover. Very hard to see. Here's your last opportunity. Well, not your last opportunity because you have up until next Sunday to think about this and contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. Again, I encourage people go on eBay, go look these up, and remember, whatever price you see it sold for, you have to add between 6 and 8% tax. I mean, especially if you live in California, I think what the tax is like 8.5, 8.25. I don't charge tax. So here's your opportunity for Tales to Astonish number 13 at a 3.5. Again, if you do 2,000 instead of 1,999, it goes from 9-month payment plan to 1 year. Going once, going twice, and that book will be available up until next Sunday at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, the last two books are grails. These are books, if they don't sell, as usual, I'll keep them and watch them keep going up in price. If you're a big boy collector, this is absolutely a book to get. This book will also start at $1,999. But again, if you say 2,000, it goes from 9-month payment plan to a 1-year payment plan. Nope, press the wrong button. Here's your chance to own Brave and the Bold 28. First appearance of Starro, but most importantly, first appearance of the Justice League of America. Nice low grade 2.0 with light tan to off-white pages. This book basically speaks for itself. And again, not restored, no coupons missing. And again, for a 2.0, presents well because the majority of the quote-unquote damage is on the edges of the book. So it is very nicely displayable, and the colors pop. So here's your chance. Brave and the Bold 28. How many people do you know on YouTube auctions are selling books like this? They're usually selling dollar bin comics to just get rid of their inventory. I'm selling books that will be investment pieces. So again, if you put it at 2,000 instead of 1,199, you will get 1 year, no interest. And again, at $2,000, you're talking about $125 roughly in taxes that you save. So I would recommend looking it up. Again, it's another book I do not mind holding on to it because these are big boy books. But as people look it up and think about it, let me read the greatest notes because, again, has the greatest notes. Centerfold detached. Multiple creases and stress lines along the spine. Significant color, edge, and spine wear. Browning and browning of interior cover. Several edge tears and chips. Weak spine. Three major reasons why it's great to have this encapsulated. Number one, with the centerfold detached, you don't have to worry about seeing that. With the uh, weak spine, having it in here makes it a lot more safe. So here's your chance to get a big boy book up to 1 year. Of course, if you pay for it in full, you get the book within 24 hours of payment. And remember, if you send me a check or a money order, you get a 6% discount off of that price. If you send cash payments, it's 7% off, and you also get free shipping. So think about it. You have up to a week to decide, unless you want to be a person to snipe it right now and keep anybody else from owning this book. Going once, going twice, and an opportunity lost for one is an opportunity gained for someone else. So if you're watching this video later on, you have up until next Sunday, the 14th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time to be able to acquire that book at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. All right, this is the last book for the evening. Big boy book. Giant Size X-Men #1. First appearance of Colossus, Storm, Nightcrawler, Thunderbird. Second full appearance of Wolverine. 6.0, ladies and gentlemen. Off-white to white pages. Bidding starts again, only $1,999. But again, if you offer it for 2,000, It goes from a 9-month payment plan to a 1-year payment plan, which again is roughly around $166 a month. No interest to own a book that is going to absolutely continue to rise in prices because remember, the X-Men haven't debuted in the MCU yet. They are going to. This is not restored. It is not incomplete. There are no coupons missing. There are graders notes, but look how nice and clean this book is. Again, I was actually shocked this came back only a 6.0. So here's your chance to own a Grail, personal Grail book for people. First appearance of the new X-Men. The reason the X-Men still exist is because of this book and Chris Claremont. $1,999 gets you this book. But again, if you do 2,000, it goes from a 9-month payment plan to up to 1 year. Go look these up. And remember, even if you saw this sold for 2,000 on eBay, don't forget they don't add, again, approximately $125 to $135 in taxes on that price. And I also offer check and money order and cash discounts on top of it. No interest on the payment plan. So I'm going to read the greatest notes and then we're going to end this. And somebody could get it now and get an opportunity of a lifetime, or they can end up contacting me within a week. Minor cover and edge wear, 2-inch front cover. Oh, 2-inch crease on the front cover. 1-inch spine tear, which is probably why I got the 6.0, and 1/4-inch spine tear on the front cover. So that's why it got a 6.0. So even though it presents well, again, the damage is mostly just on the edges. Look how good the colors are on this book. So here's your opportunity to get a book that not many people are selling on YouTube with the payment plan, with discounts for cash, check, or money order. No interest. Packaged well. All right, so here's your last chance. $1,999 gets you Giant Size X-Men #1 in a 6.0 grade. And again, off-white to white pages. Going once, going twice. And that is the end of the auction. We had 4 books sold. So congratulations to the 2 people that bought those books. All the other books will still be available for sale up until next week. So you can contact me if you watch this later on at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com, or even if you changed your mind and acquire those books. So lots of key books, lots of opportunities missed. So I want to thank people for being here. I want to congratulate the winners. And that's it for this video. So you can thumb it up, thumb it down, subscribe, unsubscribe. I'll leave that up to you. Leave a comment if you want when the video uploads. Share your experiences in the comment section if you've ordered from me before with your experiences. It definitely helps and is appreciated. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can always become a paid Patreon member at patreon.com/welovecomics. And when I do auctions, any paid Patreon members or people who join my YouTube memberships can get early access to the list of the comics for sale before anybody else sees them, giving you the availability of sniping those books from ever seeing the light of day of an auction. And that's patreon.com/welovecomics. So thanks for watching, everybody. All unsold books will be available until next Sunday. You can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. And if more than one person sends me an email inquiring about that book, whoever offers me the highest amount will own it. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you very much for participating and for watching. If you could share this video with people that you know that love buying comics, chance to get some really big boy books here. So have a great day, everybody. Enjoy the remainder of your weekend. And don't forget, it's not you, it is not I, it is We Love Comics. Enjoy the rest of your day, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered. Peace out.